My guest today is a very creative, talented, award-winning artist-songwriter. When we come back, you'll find out more about the life and talents of Shannon Grissom. I'm Val Jeffrey for The Better Part. Stay tuned.
Never held, good enough, always yelled.
Our guest is artist-songwriter Shannon Grissom. I had the opportunity to work with this beautiful, vibrant, talented lady when we teamed up as roving reporters at the Gilroy Garlic Festival back in 2005. Shortly after, we made a TV program here at The Better Part, Shannon Grissom, Famous Artist. Today, she's an award-winning artist, TV producer, host, author, songwriter, and is currently working on her third music CD. Welcome back to The Better Part, Shannon.
Val, thank you so much for having me. We've always had such great fun in everything we do.
Here's a taste of Shannon's artistry and humor.
Flip-flop, tank top, decline tea time. No shoes, no shirts, no service. Barefoot, bankrupt, cell phone blind. No shoes, no shirt, no service. Loafers, bare chest, life of crime. No shoes, no shirts, no service. Slipper gown, handwritten sign. No shoes, no shirt, no service. Service comes in many ways: kindness, value, duty, aid. But certain rules must be obeyed, or service simply won't be made. Been this way for a long time now. No shoes, no shirts, no service. You gotta put 'em on or just get out. No shoes, no shirts, no service. No shoes, no shirt, no service.
Are your songs inspired by your own paintings? And what inspired No Shoes, No Shirt, No Service?
Well, I was, they are inspired by paintings. They're inspired by all sorts of life events at no shoes, no I'd say that 3 times fast. That was inspired partly by a sign I saw in a restaurant, just in a deli. And I had this painting of my husband's feet, and I just started laughing right there in the store, and I thought, oh, I've got to write about that. And so I did.
Let's go back to your childhood. You grew up in a talented family, and that must have influenced your creative ability, right?
Oh, gosh, it sure did. My mom was a brilliant musician, and she had perfect pitch. And so all of us played instruments. My dad, although he did not play an instrument, in fact, I think the nuns told him not to sing, he had this great appreciation for music. So he was always he always had every genre you could think of. So we were always listening to good things. But we would all get together and play, and that was just an everyday way of life for us. So music was a huge part of growing up.
That must have been wonderful in your household with everyone singing.
Great fun. I don't know what the neighbors thought, but we had a great time.
What do you remember about the times when the family got together to make music?
It's funny because the first thing that comes to my mind is if you'd start to play before my mother would come down the hall, she would be able to tell you whether it was, you're sharp, you're playing. But I would say the best thing is that creating by yourself for me is a fun thing, but when you can get everybody in sync together, there's nothing like family harmony, and I mean that in the full sense of the word, in the spiritual sense, and also when you're singing together or when you're playing together, when you're all on the same page, it's just joyous. It's just such a beautiful thing.
We'd have to worry about being on the same note. Now, you were accepted into the music program at school, But you almost didn't make it.
Oh, it was really sad. I have a twin sister, and so they had us take this, 4th grade, they had us take this aptitude test. And Cheryl, of course, got 100%, passed it with flying colors, and I flunked it. So I come home and I'm crying, holding my little piece of paper, and my mother says, "No child of mine is going to be denied music education," and so and I'm embarrassed, but she takes me back, and I'm feeling like I can't do any music at all. I'm just bad. But so she takes me to the school, and she says, "Well, why don't you ask?" Maybe she misunderstood. Why don't you? Well, it was a true-false question. I had things reversed, and anyway, when they asked me the questions, I got them right, and they let me in the program. And I ended up, going from being very, very insecure to first chair, first clarinet. So, I did have a little bit of aptitude. I worked hard at it. Yeah, it was a tough, and I still am working through the not good enough, just based on the little thing in 4th grade, but I'm doing it anyway.
Wow, but
Yeah.
you had a mother that supported you and encouraged you.
Oh, my whole family, I'm blessed.
Yeah, and your life could have turned out very differently.
Yes.
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 Would you see yourself doing something else if that hadn't happened?
What? I can't imagine my life without paint or music. I don't process life really well if I'm not creative. I'm not real. I need to be doing that to be a happy girl. So yeah, it would not be pretty.
Yeah. And your painting career actually started with this little guy here.
Yes.
Sock Monkey.
Yes.
What's the story on Sock Monkey?
Well, I decided I was going to paint, and the way you get yourself out there is you do all these competitions. And I had heard about this competition where you take a pear and a fish and you relate it to someone you know, and you make something out of that. So I go to the store, and I see the fish, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I want that in my studio. I just wasn't too turned on. But I grabbed a pear, and on my way, I'm leaving the store, and I see these goldfish crackers, and I thought, oh my God, they didn't say what kind of fish. And so that started cracking me up. I thought, I'll do something silly. So I took the fish and the crackers and the pear. And then I said, well, what can I combine this with? And I thought, I'll do a tribute to my mom who had passed away. So the kazoo's in the painting because she was, the music part of her, but she had this huge sense of humor. So I wanted it, so that's how the kazoo ended up in the painting. So I get it all together, I do the painting, and I find out that it's a scam. That it's not, thank God I hadn't shipped a painting or done anything, but they were taking entry fees, and there was no, but it, out of not good stuff sometimes is good fertilizer for something else. And what happened was it's kind of like when you play basketball. So, you shoot it and you flick it and it's going to go in. That's how it was when I painted this painting. Yeah. And then magic happened. After that, I painted tons of Sock Monkey paintings, just on a roll. In fact, I've done, I think, 40 some odd Sock Monkey paintings. And I thought, well, how can I help market the monkey paintings? So I thought, well, I'll just write a children's book. So I did that. And it's a picture book and called Monkey Made of Sockies. And we did the release party at the country club, at Ridgemark Country Club. And the CEO at the time, he said, those would be great golf club head covers. And I thought, wow, they would. And so I said, I don't even know who to approach. My dad's a huge golfer, but I hadn't golfed. I didn't know what to do. So he gave me a couple names of companies to try. I went and had a prototype made. So I had, I did not ever want to send this off. So I had, I actually knew a monkey maker from my monkey travels and had her make a prototype. And I said, well, who's the best company to approach? He said, you know what? I really like Daphne's. They have integrity. It took about a year for negotiations, but then this first monkey was born. And over the years, developed a family. So this one's for the smaller drivers. Now it has a husband for the for the bigger drivers. And then at one point she said, well, they need a child. So I said, well, I'm a twin. I might as well. So I painted 2 twins and sent her the paintings, and so that's how they all came to be. I mean, this is just like a Forrest Gump story. Then they. were picked up by LPGA pros. And so pros are carrying them on tour. And I got to be a marshal at the Women's US Open in Edina, Minnesota. And there I was on the 11th green, and I could cry today. I could see one of the pros coming up the field with my head cover. And I'm like, oh, I'm trying not to cry. And this little girl behind the ropes, and I'm there to keep everybody quiet, but I'm not doing too good. So this little girl behind the ropes, she said, "Lady, what's wrong?" I said, "That's my monkey." She starts yelling, "That's her monkey, that's her monkey." And so that was the last time I was ever a marshal for the U.S. Open. But oh my God, I had such a good time. And so they're still carried on tour today. So it's just been this amazing ride. And they actually got me started writing music. Wow. So this is how the music started. I mean, everything kind of goes back to the Monkees. I was at the Sock Monkey Festival, again, approaching, trying to market my stuff. And there was this video competition, and I didn't have time to get permission to get the rights. So I said, well, I'll just write a song. And I did, and they've come a long way.
So Sock Monkey really does have his own song.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, you also paint a variety of lots of different subjects, so let's discuss them.
I love doing people because I love being able to capture not just a likeness, but when their spirit comes out on the canvas, then I know that I've really nailed it. So I love doing people. It's funny because the pears kind of remind me of, they have figure shapes, and I named them, I did a series of pears and calla lilies. I named the calla lilies after jazz musicians, and the pears are after people I know. So they all kind of relate to the people. And in fact, I did one with 3 pears called the 3 Amigos, and it was my 3 girlfriends, and they were arguing over who was the fattest pear.
How did the transition from painter to song painter take place?
I met over the internet through this kind of a radio DJ site. I met this songwriter, Jason Shepard, and he would send me his guitar licks and or just songs that he had written, instrumentals, and I would put them in GarageBand and edit them, and all of a sudden as I was doing that, I could hear lyrics, and so we started writing, and we did put a CD out together called Virtually Possible. Never met him, and we had great fun doing that, and that really kind of kick-started me starting to write on my own. We don't write together anymore, but we still support each other. It's great.
Is it always your paintings that inspire your songs, or do you write songs and it inspires a painting?
It started off with the paintings. The paintings were the catalyst, but it's not like that anymore. It just can happen at any time. And now I'm finding that that they're merging, and in fact, I was working on a song and I was having trouble with the rhythm, so as I was painting, I put the metronome on so that I would have that ingrained in my head. And so as I'm painting, I don't listen to music anymore when I'm painting because things come to me. And then, but then there are other times when I'm playing and then I get, so it's now they're going back and forth. It's great fun.
It is, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
You wrote The Way That I Roll. Is that about you?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so again, one of the ways to get out there is to do competitions. So I had gone to Palo Alto for West Coast songwriters to do a songwriting competition. And the song that I sang was about my mom and my mom's passing. So it was sad and it was very soulful. And so most of the time I get critiques and I'm, I make a list and I'm like, I can do this, this, and this, and I apply it, and it's more of a, it doesn't hit my gut. But this one, they asked me, and of course I'm already emotional because it's my mother, a song about my mother, and they said, well, could you just sing it sweet and, lift the tempo and do this and do that. And I'm thinking, hell no! I don't want to do that. So I got a little indignant, and I love what Duke Ellington says. He says he takes, I'm paraphrasing this quote, he takes his energy that he had to pout and writes the blues. Well, it's not the blues, but it was this is my response to that critique. So that's what it was.
Would you sing it for us? And you can do it your way.
Okay. Sure, I would love to. Okay. Gotta breathe here. Okay. Hey, can you sing it sweet with a lot less soul? Can you lift the beat? Oh, you're way too slow. I'm thinking that's not the story that I want told. No, that's not the way that I roll. Can you paint it neat? Hey, a lot less bold. Can you tone it down? Oh, it'll never get sold. I'm thinking, that's not the story that I want told. No, that's not the way that I roll. I was the queen of overblending every single brush stroke. Only the shower walls and the mending ever heard my notes. I'm keen and I quit pretending. I paint every hue of my soul. Now I wrote in kindness, I wrote in truth, but I won't roll it in spineless just to please you. No. And I wonder, could you feel it? Could you lose control? Could you let folks see what you've never told? I'm thinking, that's not the story that you want told. No, that's just the way that you roll. Darling, that's just the way that you roll.
That was beautiful, Shannon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
I think
you.
the crew want to applaud, but they're not allowed to.
Thank you.
And I know you do it from your heart and from your soul. And your
Thank
mum's
you.
special. Your mum's special for here. She's special for that program.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
And you have some really interesting titles. Bloody Mary and Biscuits and Gravy.
Oh,
Tell us about that.
Okay, so there's this group of artists, Yosemite Western artists, and we would go every Friday and paint from a live model. At the end of the session, we'd all go to lunch. So we go to lunch, and this one artist, she does wild, wonderful work. She says, so, you know, we were ordering traditional things, and she says, I want Bloody Mary and biscuits and gravy. And I thought, oh, and I'm writing it on a napkin. I'm like, this is a song. This is a song. And so
And that's how you did it?
yes.
Wow. What about Dirty, Dirty Dog? I dread to ask.
That is so funny. Okay, so I had this cat named Tiger, and he came home smelling like skunk. And I get him all cleaned up. He's all better. And he comes back again smelling like skunk. And I told my husband, this is just so frustrating. I talked to my husband, and he said, you know, I used to have a dog that would do that. And I thought, ooh, I could write. So I wrote it about Dirty, Dirty Dog, about a dog that likes to roll in it.
This one's called Dirty, Dirty Dog. Well, he come home smelling like Pepe Le Pew. Made my eyes water before he withdrew. Tried to clean him up with tomato juice. Was just about done when he broke loose. Don't give him a bath, don't pitch a fit. That dirty, dirty dog likes rolling in it. I just have to laugh, you might as well quit. That dirty, dirty dog likes rolling in it.
makes it sound like you have this lover who's just a real piece of work. So, so everybody, it was funny because my stepson and daughter, they called me, "Are you okay? Is everything going?" I said, "These are just stories. I'm making things up, right?" So yeah.
Do you have the title before you write the song, or you write the song and you get a title? How does that work?
No, so sometimes I get the title, and I think those come to me quicker when I get the title and the chorus just come. And other times it's just a concept, and then like right now, I really tamed my hair down for this shoot, but it's normally kind of frizzy, like it's way out there. And so I thought about, so I'm exploring the option, or the thought of, here I'm singing quietly, but I've got rock and roll hair. And so that may be the title, it may not, but it's just, I have something where I start exploring it, and then I just start brainstorming.
Yeah. Now, you play the guitar, you play it beautifully.
Thank you.
And you realized, though, that you wanted to play the piano again. How did you go about it? I know you played it as a child.
Yeah, I still am playing it just bits and pieces. But I went and God, I remember when the piano came. Every time I get an instrument, I cry. It's a good cry, and I just picked it up and started taking lessons and started going for it. I mean, yeah.
What was the first bit of music that you tried to play on the piano?
So I found my mom's sheet music, and I love that this is the first thing I started playing was Stairway to Heaven. I am influenced by all kinds of good music. I think where I'm going, the direction I'm going, is going to be more, I'm taking voice lessons now and guitar lessons. I think I will be going more deep driving, soulful, bluesy. I think that's the direction I'm going.
Yeah. Do you have to be in a certain state of mind to write? I mean, there's writer's block. Do you have songwriter's block?
I've had writer's, painter's block. I mean, I had a series of unfortunate family things happen over the last couple of years that made it hard to create. But I think for me, if I show up every day and paint, or I show up every day and write and play, then the magic happens. If I don't show up, I miss it. So if I waited till I felt the inspiration, it might go 10 years. Sometimes, I'm exaggerating, but I feel like I would miss so much. So I get in there and I just do it.
You lose track of time when you're...
Yes, more so after about an hour and a half of painting, I become completely fried. I have to take a break. But when I'm writing music or I'm playing music, I mean, 3 or 4 hours, and all of a sudden, oh my God, I got to eat, I got to go to the bathroom. So I totally lose music. I tend to lose more time there.
Do you have a special place that you like to create?
You know what? Any place that's quiet. I just have a little tiny room, home studio. I don't have a fancy. I have had fancy places to create. Right now, I've just got a little bedroom, and as long as it's quiet and people leave me alone, that's special to me.
What do the neighbors think when you're making up your songs?
You know what? Nobody's said anything yet. But the thing is, I get up at 3 or 4 in the morning. And so I'll start doing that then, and nobody's complained, and I do it on the acoustic or I do it on the electric without the sound on, so that nobody's hearing anything. And my husband, bless his heart, he can't hear anymore. So when he has his hearing aids off, I'm not waking him up. So it works out really well.
Does he play or sing or no?
You know what? He used to. I'd love for him to get back, but he's not anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. When life throws a curveball at you, you have a great motto. Can you please share with us and any aspiring artists out there?
Well, if you got a curveball, then, get your stance, pick up the biggest bat you can find and start swinging and live your dream, because otherwise, you're going to strike out.
Yeah. What are your aspirations for the future?
I want to work on this CD, get the CD, and I'm going to find a way. I'm not sure how this is, but I'm going to be merging my painting with my music. Not sure what that looks like, but
you're going to become an official song.
Yes,
you are.
Yes.
Well, Shannon, I've known you for quite a few years. You're always smiling.
Aww.
And you're funny, And your laugh, as everyone has heard, is infectious.
Oh, thank you.
And you went from doing your painting and giving walls some soul to bringing music to our hearts. And I think now you're officially not just a famous artist, you're a famous song painter.
Bless you.
So
Thank you.
I thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you'll come back and see us again sometime.
Oh, anytime. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon. So remember, don't wait for your life to get perfect to live your dream. Just do it. Here's Shannon playing us out with Keep Your Faith. I'm Val Jeffrey for The Better Part. Join us again.
Dusty canvas, dried up paint, stacks of dreams you're making wait. You don't need pliers, it's not too late. Your life will open, keep your faith. Keep your faith in your pocket, keep your faith in your purse. Keep your faith where you can see it after unexpected turns. Keep your faith close so that it can be heard. It will give you sight when your vision is blurred. Musty sadness, iron gates, like wet jeans, they're a heavy weight. Your frequent flyer, miles can't wait. Your life is golden, keep your faith. Keep your faith in your pocket, keep your faith in your purse. Keep your faith where you can see it after unexpected turns. Keep your faith close so that it can be heard. It will give you sight when your vision is blurred. You're looking hard for muses, why not get up now and do? When the muses find you working, they'll make their way to you. So keep your faith in your pocket, keep your faith in your purse. Keep your faith where you can see it after unexpected turns. Keep your faith close so that it can be heard. It will give you light when your vision is blurred. It will give you sight when your vision is blurred.